Mm. Hello. I can't hear you. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think you can. Mm. Let's see. Can you hear me okay or no?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yay.
Good. Let me see if I can make that a little bigger. There we go.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy almost Canada Day. Woo woo.
Yes, I know. I can't wait.
Me neither. I just need to get to the trailer. I've decided that already. Today I woke up and I was not a happy camper and I was like, why am I so grouchy? And I
Mm,
think it's just I need to go and just settle in and sit in and just enjoy the water and everything. So, yeah. But I'm
mhm.
feeling better now because I ate my look it. I can barely eat this.
Oh, they're so big.
They are so big. It's such a struggle.
I know.
I but I keep saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm putting such good food into my stomach right now." And I'm not hungry afterwards and
No.
it's all good. So,
You know what? I used to, like at work or whatever, like if I was at the school or even at home, if I can't finish it, I stick the rest in the fridge and then I just pick at it a little later.
yep, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here because I'm like, "Oh, it's very daunting." Oh, that's funny because you can go out to McDonald's and you can snort back,
Mhm.
a French fry and a hamburger, and you're starving 25 minutes later, and it's like
Yeah,
yeah. But that just goes to what we're going to talk about today.
that's right.
So, hello, Miss Christina, and welcome to Awaken by Heather Q&A session. Thank you for coming here again. Ah, we did this. We did this on Tuesday already, and yeah, the red button wasn't on, but I see it now. Do you see it?
Okay, I don't see it.
I see it. It's recording.
Oh, I see it. I do
Okay,
see it. Awesome.
so we're good. So, to everybody who will be watching this on replay and listening a little bit later on, of course, this is Christina Denome. We had her in here for our conversation inside of Awaken a couple weeks ago. We were talking about whole food living and just health and liveliness in general. Now, you are a whole foods educator as well as well you do a lot of things and we're going to dig in that today because I know that our initial conversation um, I thought we were going to go somewhere and we went completely different and I treasure those moments like we talked about the other day because we went exactly where we needed to go that day.
Mhm.
So and I know that it has sparked conversations in your life, it has sparked conversations in my life, and that's what it was meant to do, so it was a blessing. But today we're going to actually do what we're going to do.
Right.
So I'm going to turn it over to you. If you can just kind of give us your most flavorful elevator pitch, let us know who you are, what you do, and
Mhm.
what brings you to the life that you're leading, then we'd love to hear it. So take it.
Awesome. Okay, so I am a Whole Foods educator. I came from education field, right out of the classroom. Just kind of transitioned into teaching families, teaching individuals about whole food eating, what that is, and what that means to our bodies, but in a practical sense, right? So, not to get into the scientific. Everybody knows fruits and vegetables and things like that are good for you. I don't need to tell anybody that; they already know. But how do we get that in? What does that look like on your plate? What does that look like from one meal to the next? And how can we be sure that we're getting the right nutrition in the amount that we need, and more importantly, in the variety that we need?
Yeah.
So that's what I do in a nutshell.
Awesome.
And I do that in a variety of ways. One of those ways is through meal planning. So I'll sit down with families, individuals, and talk about meal planning and how to kind of strategize, ways to do that, and prepping as well. So I'll hold meal prep workshops, like what you came to on Monday,
Yes.
salad in a jar, or Buddha bowls, or overnight oats, protein balls, Buddha bowls. There's tons.
Yep.
And then I'll do private one-on-one prepping for people who just need that. Sometimes we just need a little help. Sometimes we just need a little hand holding. Sometimes we just need somebody to come over when it's convenient for them, right? So not everybody can make it out to a workshop that's scheduled, but sometimes they like to have somebody come in and do it with them one-on-one. So I do that as well. So I work on the practical side of things. I also am just about to open up a cafe in partnership with my father. So I'm heading up the healthy living menu for that. And then, of course, we're still going to have, because it's in a tourist area, it's at the Martyr Shrine. We're also going to have, the typical, North American or type foods that people are going for, but contrasted with healthy options, which is kind of nice. So it'll be interesting to see what people gravitate towards, because a lot of our imaging and a lot of our front and center items are going to be those healthier items in order to spark that desire to want to eat something healthy. So I like having that contrast there, because it sort of it creates a consciousness, right? We're making a conscious choice. I'm choosing, the French fries or the burger or the sausage or whatever, because that's what I want, even though I know that this is, healthier or better for me. This is what I'm going for today, and that's okay, right? Or vice versa. This is what I need. This is what my body is kind of pulling me towards, this, a salad or a wrap or something like that, or a smoothie, healthy smoothie, because that's what my body needs. In addition to that, we're going to be doing workshops as well. So that may roll out closer to September, because we're only opening middle of July towards August. So, getting everything else, menu and everything else set up is the first and foremost, and then workshops will follow. So that'll either be September, October. We will be closed from October until May, just because we're just seasonal, and then reopen again. And in that case, the workshops may, roll in at that point, in the May to October year 2020.
Nice.
And we'll also have cooking workshops, meal prep workshops, again, the kinds of things that I do already, having guest speakers come in and talk about healthy living, raw eating, just based on interest as well, having cultural speakers come in and talk about food and culture and what that means for our bodies and all kinds of things. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited to partner with local businesses to bring all of that to fruition.
That's amazing. And you know what? You made a very good point there, that everything is a choice. And if we're truly honoring our health journey, whatever that looks like, choices are a good thing. We just have to, most of the time I find that it's just the lack of education, like you can attest to, that people just don't understand what they need to put into their bodies, or they have this patterning that they've picked up along the way, or that has been just something that they've been shown and lived all their lives. So that's all they know. It's not that they're being naive or obstinate about making changes in their life. It's just they don't know how to put it all together. And the health world is such a daunting place that especially I bet you can agree with me here. You probably find a lot of people coming to you, not necessarily in the pre-stages, but they're coming to you because they have a health crisis, right? Or so we've not done enough work to prepare people to just make the shift and the change to a healthy lifestyle. We wait until the wheels are falling off, we're in crisis mode, and fight and flight is kicked off. And all of that leads to, when you're in that process and you're trying to deal with the crisis, the emotion, and the way in which you're processing, it leads to this, you're not going to grasp it, so you have to come at it from this just relaxed, I can do this stage, and place to just embrace what comes at it. And it doesn't have to be everything all at once. It can be
No,
one or two things,
that's right.
because making that difference one step at a time is so important. Like, I've been eating these salads now, and I tell you, 2 years ago, I put movement back into my life. I walk every day, and I walk twice, like I walk to and from work, and I am conscious of what I put into my stomach and what I'm eating just because of my own medical stuff. I started eating these salads this week. And it's a whole different level. I mean, I ate well. I always add salads during the day, but I had more meat protein in my salads than I did, vegetable protein that I'm eating now, and nuts and those kinds of things. Yesterday, my boss said to me, you know what, let's go grab lunch. And I thought, okay, I can have my salad for supper because I had a really busy night. So it wasn't going to go to waste or anything. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can make healthy choices. So we went, and I got a Western sandwich with a salad. Do you know that I got halfway through the first half of the sandwich and I literally felt the effects of it in my body? I'm not saying that, eggs and all those things aren't bad, but I had the most profound experience because I literally said mentally to myself, because I'm very intuitive, so I feel a lot of things. So I knew halfway through that sandwich, oh, this is not for me. And I got very, very clearly that, okay, no, duly noted. I will limit the times that I do this to my body. And the rest of the afternoon was just hard to get through. So I found myself, as I showed you before, here's my salad right here, longing to get back to this and going, wow, you know what? I know that I ate, bits and pieces of what I'm eating now throughout my diet, and I mixed it and I made clean choices, but this has just amped it up on a whole different level, right? So, and there's more awareness, and I guess because I'm listening and I'm actually embracing the subtle little shifts that I'm making, because I've hit a plateau and I'm at the stage where I'm like, I'm doing everything right now, I'm just getting mad. And what the hell's going on, right? But I realize as I shifted and changed even my plate, to introduce other different things, my body's going, oh, okay, that's cool. I'm responding to that. So where I'm going on this long rant is that just listen to your body. Come at it from a place of surrendering to the process, being open to the things that are available. It does not have to be an overwhelm. It can be a subtle little thing. And for every nugget that you take away that you go, oh, that made me feel good. Oh, that didn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it when I do this. That's the important pieces. And you just build on them. They're building blocks. They're like those blocks whenever you were a kid, like Lego. And you just keep building and you move and you shift and you shape and you do what you need to do. And it changes all the time.
It does. You're absolutely right. Based on our own physiology, because our physiology is changing, day in and day out as we, age, and our certain needs for different nutrients are higher and low. Like children need, a lot of fat. Yeah. We all do, but children, especially as they're growing and their brains are developing, need a lot of that. So I think it's really important to kind of tune in all the time as our bodies shift and change. And you're absolutely right. Like, listening to your body is so key, because what I need isn't necessarily going to be what you need, right? So, I mean, when I look at these, I'm going to say it, diets.
I know. I hate the word. And you know what? You and I talked about this on Monday. In my training, we actually said if we could reverse the word diets, because diets should never be a damn standard to fall into. Diet should be, I am adjusting the quality of the food. My diet is the stuff, the sustenance that I'm putting into my body to make me go. It's not a fad of, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a magic pill over here. Oh, I'm going to take a coffee here or this or that. All those things have their place. They have their purpose, and they do usually gets you the result that you want. But
Mm.
as we talked about on Monday, it does not stay there because you have
Yeah.
not changed the lifestyle. You've not dealt with the mental stuff that and your relationship around all of that. I mean, I test my clients in my wellness program to say, okay, we're all going to go on a diet. How does that feel for you right now? What comes up emotionally? It's a great thing when you can, and I am shocked at some of the things that come out. Some people are really comfortable with it. Some people are not comfortable with it. Some people have this, they immediately close off and shrink in and get smaller. And it's
Mhm.
watching them from a coaching standpoint going, okay, so you know what? We have definitely impacted people with this word. So what if it's just a word? So, it's great that you say,
Mhm.
let's, we don't want to say that word, but it is there. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what society has put upon us. So let's just flip it somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. This is my style. This is my healthy lifestyle. This is my eating lifestyle. This is my, I love the term intuitive eating,
Yes.
right? I think is really, if we can look at it that way, intuitive eating, I'm eating what my body needs, and knowing how to, we have certain cravings for specific reasons. If you have a craving, we want to look at, okay, well, what, and I mean, a quick Google search, even, this is what I'm craving. What is my body needing?
For sure.
To figure out, okay, sometimes we're needing more sodium, or sometimes we're just needing more protein, or sometimes we need vitamin B. You know what I mean? So, but unfortunately, because our bodies are so used to reaching for the less healthy alternatives or options for those things, that's what we go for.
Mm-hmm.
Right, instead of reaching for the things that our body's actually craving.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not filling that void at all. In fact, we're only becoming more nutrient deprived because we're having to use our nutrient stores to burn those less healthy foods, right? To digest them, to process them, to clean out the toxins that resulted from eating them, right? All of that energy, all of that comes from our, from our own nutrient stores. So as soon as we start to, take those nutrient stores to, deal with that,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not replacing them, we're becoming nutrient deficient day in and day out. We're becoming nutrient deficient more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then we get to a point where, we're dealing with things like anxiety, depression, and gut issues and liver issues and cancer and, all of this stuff, because we've just deprived our body of what it needs to deal with the environment that, we continue to create within ourselves.
For sure. And have you say intuitive eating? I love that you brought that up, actually. Have you practiced this before?
Mm-hmm.
Do you practice this now?
Yes, I do. Yeah. So I'm not a calorie. I was a calorie counter. There was a time when, I was wanting to get it. I wanted to become a bodybuilder. I worked out like crazy, 9 to 13 times a week, cutting my calories, watching my fat intake, making sure those ratios were all, the way that they should be. And I put my body in a lot of turmoil having done that. And when it came time to heal my gut, because I had a leaky gut, imbalance of the gut, right? So a lot of candida, all of that kind of thing.
Yep.
So when it came to healing that, there were specific things that I had to remove and other things that I had to add. And then I just, I felt free because I no longer had to worry about what I was putting in. It wasn't about how much of what I was putting in. It wasn't about counting the calories or anything like that, or eating at a certain time. No, I eat when I'm hungry. So if my body tells me that, and it's funny actually, because you'll find that your body just kind of gets on its own rhythm.
It does.
And, if I eat at 9 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning or whatever, if I want to eat a couple hours later, I'm going to eat a couple of hours later. And typically, I'll listen, I want something crunchy, or I want something, my body will tell me, oh, I just need green. Like I see green, I hear green, I can smell green,
Yep.
I need green.
Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
I'll get something and I'll put a lot of green in because that's what my body's telling me, right?
Yep.
Sometimes I'm not a vegan. I don't eat a ton of meat, but some people think that I'm a vegan just because I swear by fruits and vegetables. But I do eat meat. But there are certain meats that I don't eat. I won't eat pork because it doesn't make me feel good.
Yep.
If I eat something, it's typically, I'll want some venison. Typically, I can feel that I just need a little bit. I can tell it's maybe my B's. I need
Yep.
some B vitamins.
Yep.
So I'll go for venison. Sometimes I'll go for some of the organ meats as well.
Yep.
If I feel my energy maybe is a little bit low and I'm needing some of that iron. And then there are other times where I feel like I want a little bit of beef. And there's something about that. And it's not like a big, huge T-bone steak that I'm going to devour, but just a little tiny bit of beef. And I just feel, energized. And I feel like I've just, I've filled those gaps that I was, at some point during the 3 days that I wasn't eating it, I started to deplete, right? So I think it's really important to, when we eat, like what you were saying, when you eat, you feel a certain way, right? You take note of that. And then either you're going to choose to not do it again or do it very rarely. And know going into that situation how you're going to feel. You're making a conscious choice, right? And then and knowing how you feel when you eat something good, so that when you are feeling, if something gives you energy, when you're feeling low on energy that you're going for that food. And that may not be the same food for you as it is for me.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah, and it's really cool because in the program that I run as well, a big piece of it is intuitively connecting. So you're intuitively connecting to what your plate looks like, how you feel in your body, when are you eating, what are you being called to, slowing it down, how do you eat. There's something to be said about the chewing and the timing of your plate and eating your meal. There's something to be said about recognizing the hunger scale, when you are about, to be hangry or when you've pushed it too far. So you have to find that boundary. And when we start to live life, and this is kind of, the basis of all of Awaken, is when we start to embrace and live and be in a place of fully exploring our lives. It's when we are connected, when we're tuned into this vessel right here that knows exactly what we need, when we need it, and what. So we just need to turn the switch back on to listen in here, to get rid of the pre-programming, to get rid of the old habits, to get rid of the social norms that are there, right? You know what? Like you said, I'm not, a vegan. I do introduce this. I may eat this. I may eat this, but I eat it on my terms, for my body and for me. And that is the importance. If anybody takes anything away from this conversation that we have, is that the connection to yourself and the power of your voice is there. Embrace it. You know exactly what you need. It's that we're turned off. So let's get turned back on again. And let's just, live each day the way that we need to, doing what we need. So that's very cool. And I love, I'm an 80s child. And, I grew up, all through well, I'm a 70s child, but I grew through up through all those diet phases, through Richard Simmons, through calorie counting, through all of this stuff. I had Thigh Masters. I had everything that you could ever imagine. And we did so much harm to our bodies because we were just dipping into whatever we could. I mean, we're just now figuring this out, I think, in the nutrition world, is that, it's not, you can't look at somebody and say, oh, look at the size of you, you're just completely out of control. It doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. There's so much going on. inside there could be food allergies, there could be medication, there could be emotional, there
Yeah.
could be actual, food stuff. And in most times, if you're on either end of the scale, you're probably not listening to what your body needs to fuel you. So that's a good starting point, but don't judge,
Right.
because you just don't know. So kind of my pet peeve of the world, because we are coming alive, and it's good because everybody is starting to go, okay, like you said, intuitive eating, listening to your body, introducing this. The food guide has now kind of shifted, and
Yeah.
I know, and it's caused a lot of uproar, but it has shifted,
Hmm.
and we just have to remember that it's a guideline. We
Hmm.
don't have to be like the people beside us. It's a guideline. So if we're striving to get there
Hmm.
and we have a mediocre version of that, that's okay. Better than
Hmm.
eating out every day, fast food. I mean, there's all kind of food eats. There's tons of documentaries on that, and that happens, but I don't know. It's just the world is already way too complicated. I think that it's good now that we're starting to uncomplicate things by
Hmm.
highly recommending people to truly tune in, find the heart, soul, mind balance, because you could be doing all the right things and you could be eating a perfect diet. And if you are living and eating that in a stressed out state of mind, you are not going to see the results that you need, because you are eating from a fight and flight standpoint instead of a relaxed and cool, my body's operating perfectly right now as it should, right? As soon as we're
Hmm.
heightened here, and we're all heightened, there's so very few people in this world that are not heightened. Um,
Hmm.
and that's something that I think that we all need to identify, is that if there's even one thing outside of your meals and your planning and all those things to do, check your stress level. Are you sleeping enough? Are you eating? Are you doing all of these things? So I agree with you 100% on that.
Right.
My question to you now
Yeah.
is that you also do the Juice Plus. So tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about Juice Plus, the products that they offer, and why you got into it.
Yeah, so Juice Plus is a Whole Foods company. It's a whole food supplement, literally powdered fruits and vegetables in a capsule. So it's literally, if you can see this, if I hold that up, that's just a bunch of greens: broccoli, um, cabbage, tomato, parsley, kale, spinach, garlic, beet, carrot, rice bran in that little capsule. Nothing else, just that. And it's grown on, and same with the red one. We've got our fruits in there, and then these are like berries and things like that. These are berries, high antioxidants, and cacao as well, which is a very high antioxidant. And then we have omegas, which is a blend of oil. So I'll talk about that in a moment. But anyway, it's literally fruits and vegetables in a capsule. They're grown on small to mid-sized family farms, all of the produce, and it's grown organically. It's non-GMO. It is Health Canada approved. It is also NSF certified, which is really important. It means that it's very, very clean. What's on the label is in the bottle, and what's on the bottle is in the actual product. So that's not necessarily the case with a lot of the products that we have on the Canadian market, because our labeling laws are so loose. There have been, we've heard it all before, right? In the news about products being pulled or recalls on products. I've heard about it with popular protein brands and things like that, where there are heavy metals in the products. So there really isn't, because there isn't a standard like NSF. You don't have to have NSF testing on all of our products, but NSF ensures that there's no pesticides, no herbicides, no fungicides, no heavy metals. It's just fruits and vegetables, no synthetics at all. So what we find with, unlike a multivitamin, because people will say to me, well, I take a multivitamin. And I say, okay, well, that's all right. so that you know that multivitamins are synthetic nutrients and they are not recognized well by the body. We don't absorb them well. Our body is meant to, we're talking about intuitive eating and all of that stuff and our body's design and what we need and that sort of thing. Our bodies are meant to eat food. Our molecules in our body are designed to lock in with food molecules. Our cells need whole food. So when we put synthetic nutrients into our body, it's not recognized. So it just, goes into the toilet.
Yep. Yep.
Right?
Eliminated.
Exactly. But through our liver and everything, our body has to deal with cleaning that out, right?
Yep.
So we end up taxing our livers and that sort of thing. And additionally, because we're putting such a high amount of one synthetic nutrient in, we actually cause what's called one of the nutritionist that I partner with, she talks about this, but it creates a deficiency in others, right? So they compete for absorption. Mm-hmm. Our nutrients compete for absorption. So when we put a lot of one in, we can cause deficiencies in another. So it can be dangerous actually to be taking synthetic nutrients in high amounts like that on a regular basis. I understand that sometimes we need it, but the better way to do it is through whole food form. Now, the reason why I partnered with this company was because I was, like I said, getting out of classroom education, moving into nutrition education for children. I mentioned when we did our interview, I was doing that because I was passionate about children with learning disabilities and helping children's brain, wire and fire and receive messages more effectively. And one of the ways that we do that, one of the most effective ways to do that is by dealing with the foundation, and that's with nutrition. So I was trying to help my family's nutrition. I was trying to kind of recover them from that processed food diet that I unfortunately exposed them to at too young of an age. And I myself, like I mentioned earlier, was dealing with gut issues that needed to be repaired. Yep. We shifted to a whole foods diet probably about 1.5 years or so prior to starting these products. And before starting this, I was looking for something easy to absorb nutrition because we had gut issues that we're dealing with. And that's what our body required. A lot of us need easy to absorb nutrition because we do struggle to absorb the nutrients from our food. Oftentimes, for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's even as simple as we just don't chew our food enough.
100%. Yeah, and on that chewing side of things, I mean, you should be chewing your food at least 60 to 90 times. Who does that?
I know, who does that? Nobody has time.
I know.
Right?
But we need to make time.
I know. It's hard. It is so hard. Right? Unless you're drinking your nutrients, it's really, really hard. Yeah. So when I saw this product, I thought, oh my gosh, I sat down with a nutritionist and she said it's bioavailable. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that is easy to absorb into my body. It's like a light bulb went off. I'm like, that's all you needed to say. I dove right in, looking much like you did a couple of weeks ago, but I dove right in, just looking at the ingredients, looking at the research behind it. There's a ton of research behind the product. For anybody who doesn't know, there's about 37, Juice Plus is published in 37 peer-reviewed journals. It's double-blind, placebo-controlled research, which is like gold star research. And I mean, who needs to know, like, why does there need to be research between fruits and vegetables and the effectiveness of it? I don't know, but I do value that the company has such a high standard for making sure that their product is, above the rest in the industry, because it truly is just whole food nutrition. So, I mean, I got it for my family, and I experienced some really great health benefits. My gut issues just started to kind of resolve themselves over time, not because it's a magic pill, not because, like, I'm not going to say, oh, I was sick, I took Juice Plus, and then, I just became better. Juice Plus made me better. No, I was sick. My son was struggling with learning challenges. I put really good nutrition into our body that was easily absorbed, and my body did what it needed to do on its own.
100%. And
right?
that is
So
a powerful statement, because again, there's no perfect fix for this. It is your journey, your body, and your choices.
mm-hmm. Exactly. And I don't, I know that our bodies, our bodies want to be in a natural state of health. Nobody's body actually wants to be sick, right? The body has an incredible power to heal itself in unimaginable ways. We've heard those kind of miracle stories, as you will, but if we feed our bodies properly, like if we give our bodies the nutrients that it needs, our bodies will come into a state of health. They will, but the problem is we just struggle to do that. We struggle to do that because of time. So, we're supposed to get, 10 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every single day.
That's overwhelming just thinking about it.
Challenging. Yeah, it's a lot. And we need to get it in a variety, because every color of fruit or vegetable is a different phytonutrient that our body needs. Different cells in our body require different phytonutrients.
Yep.
And in order for us to, be able to, like I said, feed our bodies what they need on a regular basis, we need to be getting that variety. And for whatever reason, people can't, don't, or won't. Yeah. And I'm all about simple solutions. I'm all about helping families, busy families get healthy, get the nutrition that they need. And you know what? This was an ideal way to do it. Families are it's simple. It's simple nutrition. And, even though I eat very, very well, I don't always eat something purple. I don't always eat something blue or green or, so I usually get green. I should say
always green. That's green. Never an issue. It's the rest of the rainbow that I have a problem.
Yeah. I know. So it's, and there's a number of reasons for that, right? So this just fills in those gaps, make sure that we're getting what we need when we need it. Our brain, a lot of the nutrients that our brain needs, and this isn't stuff that I just know because I know it, or I know because I'm an expert in nutrition. I know this because I go to a lot of webinars, I do a lot of webinars. I go to a lot of lectures. I learn a lot about nutrition because, I should, right? This is something that it's the field that I'm in, but this is education that everyone has access to. And then that's the other thing I love about the Juice Plus company, is that they are so committed to educating the average Joe like myself. Yeah. Right? Like you and I. Yeah. They have so much education out there, some of the most prestigious health experts in the world that come and teach. We just had Dr. Sears. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Sears, Dr. William Sears from The Doctor Show.
Yes.
We just had him in Barrie, a couple of months ago, and he was teaching, right? So it's really incredible what the commitment to educating the public that Juice Plus has, the commitment to helping families get healthy by, ensuring that they support children in getting their nutrition for free with every adult, right? So there's just so much that they do that I'm just so aligned with, that not to be a part of the company just didn't feel right.
And you know what, we talked about this on Monday. There's a lot of things out there that you can align yourself with, and whenever you are in a certain profession, depending on that profession, you will get bombarded with people who want you to be doing their products, using their products, speaking for your products, sharing it. And I think you and I are a lot alike in that we don't just, we're not looking for the fast fix. We're looking for the, this is a way of life, and this is a change. And you'll know when the product speaks to you properly, and when it totally resonates with you. So that's amazing. I want you to tell us a little bit about this child program, because I think that this is absolutely an amazing benefit of being part of the program as an adult. that you get to actually transfer to the next generation at a fraction of the cost.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So any child between the ages of 4 and 21, they're supplemented for free with an adult order. And that can be an adult order that looks like this, right? So that's your reds, your fruit, and your veggies, or an adult order that looks like this.
Okay.
No matter what, I would show you gummies, but no matter what, whether it's the 3 or the 2, children are supplemented for free with every adult that orders one of those packages. And that's, again, just so that we never want parents to feel like, I can't get that for myself. I would get that for my son or my daughter, but I can't, I could never. How often do we not spend money on ourselves?
Yeah.
So you know what, Mom, Dad, you put the oxygen mask on and we'll take care of your child.
Yeah.
You know,
that's amazing.
It's important. It's important. I truly, honestly, and truly believe, and I know this from experience, that happy, healthy parents make happy, healthy children. You know, I was not in my best state of health, a couple of years ago. I lost a ton of weight. I had major gut issues. And when those gut issues create a whole lot of other, side effects, right? So I had, depression, anxiety. I was just totally exhausted, complete mental fog, no energy for my family. And I remember that, and I'm gonna be brutally honest here and say, I remember a day, like I just was not the mother I wanted to be. I'm quite ashamed at times, but I remember days where it was like a bomb went off and I'd look around and I would see the remains of my kids' emotions on the floor. Like it was awful.
Yep.
Right? So I know.
It's okay. You know what? We're all there and we've all been there. And it's, this is the human experience when you
exactly
trying to be the best that you can be and you're working with the tools that you have and the journey that you're in. There's no shame. Yes, I know that we take on those things because we have this perfection mold that we have to fit, right? We can't be like, and we're just all striving to be better than. But what if just for a minute, like you said, you can just be who you are in that moment and know that there is imperfection everywhere and that it's okay, because look at you now, right?
Yeah, exactly. And to have, a support in place where, they would say to me, you take care of yourself. I can take care of myself and you're going to take care of my kids.
How special.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. And when I see the benefits that my kids have had, my son, who was dealing with tons of environmental allergies, is no longer struggling in that area. It's been a year. Okay. It's taken time. Yeah. But, he's no longer having those allergies. He's sleeping at night, which is amazing. And, my daughter her mood, she used to be on this
yeah, roller coaster
pendulum. Yeah. And she's her mood is so stable and she seems happier. Mind you, Mommy's happier too.
Yeah.
Right. And my son Isaiah, who's learning, has just peaked incredibly, and his emotional health has gotten better. And I shared about that, how the smiling happening and his ability to focus and his reading level going from a grade 3 to a grade 10 in 1 year. It's just because of his ability to focus, right? And the ability for his brain to receive messages because of the change in his nutrition, right? So knowing that it was just all I had to do was take care of myself so that they can be taken care of, and so that I could be in a state of health so that I could make sure that they have what they need, was really impactful. And so, I get that parents want to give their kids everything. The best gift you can give them is a healthy you.
100%. 100%. And you should really truly give yourself a pat on the back for knowing and recognizing and being in that place, that you come through the trenches and here you are. And no, it's not easy and it's hard. I mean, I remember whenever I was, well, I can, I totally can resonate with that emotion that you had, because, if it wasn't for my daughter coming, I've had several conversations with my kids around the time whenever I was not good. And, there was a lot of emotions that come up there. I did let them down because, you know what? I was barely hanging on by a thread. I didn't even know how to take care of myself. And so I had cultivated this world with them that all they knew was that their mommy was the rock, that she would put everything ahead of herself to give them the life that she didn't have, that she didn't want. And that's not a good place to be. We do that because we are, programmed to do that, and we get to that place. But like you said, it brings you to a place where you're unhealthy and you're well. It brought me to a place where I was unhealthy and I was unwell, and it just impacted everybody. So the fact that you have a company that is actually identifying and validating the fact that being a human is hard. It's hard enough, with financial, emotional, physical, all these things. Let's take that out of the equation. And like you said, if you are willing to commit to yourself, then we're willing to commit to your family. And that's a really powerful statement, and it's really cool. I love it. And the fact that, it doesn't even have to be, your own child. We talked about this, like my nieces and nephews. I now spend time with them because of the loss of my sister. And so they can benefit from this because I can sign them up as my child, and so it's a very, very powerful, it's something that's going to impact generations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty amazing.
I believe it 100%. I mean, when we look at 6 years ago, Juice Plus was sponsoring 50,000 children. That was 6 years ago. Now, 6 years later, we have 2 million families
Wow, that's
that are
profound.
participating in this program. Isn't that incredible?
It is.
Yeah.
How long has Juice Plus been around?
The company itself, 45 years. It's been in Canada for 25 years.
Okay. Wow.
A 25-year anniversary with the Juice Plus products. Prior to that, it was I think an air filtration company at one time. So the product changed.
Yeah.
It wasn't Juice Plus, but it's the exact same founder though. So Jay Martin's being with Juice Plus, and prior to that, the air filtration company for 45 years. It's always been Jay Martin, and yeah, so it's interesting actually. The Juice Plus, the idea of Juice Plus, came out because Jay Martin. You can share the. I listened to him tell the story in the fall, but he was talking about all the craziness he was going through to try and juice.
Yes.
And then he took a sip of the juice, and he's like, everything I just went through, I went to buy this juicer, and I bought all of this stuff, and I put it through the juicer to get like that much juice, and I went to drink it, and it was awful. He's just like, wouldn't it be nice if there was an easier way to do this? And then he I guess happened upon somehow in some way came in relationship with a doctor who was doing this for his cancer patients, not in capsule form like this, but he was powdering fruits and vegetables for his cancer patients. And he thought that was a brilliant idea, and they just kind of evolved from that.
That's amazing. Because you know what? I have seen the statistics and seen people who have stayed alive because, having cancer just by juicing, and it is a hard thing to do. And again, it all still goes back to the proper nutrition and the proper way for you to get you what you need. And we are this massive machine of wellness, and we just need to tap into it. So the other really cool thing that Juice Plus now offers are these towers.
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely in love with these towers because I spend a mega fortune every week trying to eat as healthy as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were talking about this on Monday, and, I know that if somebody might look at the towers and go, oh, that's a little steep. But when you take a look at the yield that it provides for your
Yeah.
family for a 1-year investment, you're actually saving money. Like you said, it's costing you more to buy your foods at a grocery store than it is to actually build your foods here. And, in this society, in this day and age, and especially in this summer, I mean, look at last year, how many times lettuce was recalled, broccoli was recalled, cauliflower was recalled. All of these things were recalled because there was cross contamination. We're getting our products from across the border in most cases. They're they don't look that pretty
Mm-hmm.
whenever they're traveling for this many days. We know that they're doing something. So if you have a way to be able to, you know, build your own and grow your own, do it. When the kids were littler, we had a garden that was massive in the backyard, and I made baby food out of that stuff, and it was great. But I really like this concept that of the tower garden. So tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Sure. It's they're so cool. Eh?
Yeah.
They're so cool. They're an aeroponic growing system, where you're able to grow your food year round, which is really important in Canada because we have such a short growing season. So even if you are growing your own, you're having to like can them or you know um, heat, what do you call it, blanch them and freeze them or whatever, if you're storing it that way, and then you lose nutrients in that process. So this actually just allows you to grow outdoors if you want to on the tower during the summer, and you can take it indoors in the winter. Comes with growing lights as an add-on if you so choose, and you can grow inside all winter long. It actually it grows 3 times faster than your garden plant. So within a few weeks from seed to, for lettuce, from seed to full bloom, you're looking at about 2 and a bit weeks.
Wow.
Of your food. Yeah, and it's a far greater yield as well. So you get a lot more from one plant than you do through traditional growing as well. There's a tower tonic that's used in you put it in the water in the basin of the tower. And that tower tonic is actually, it's just minerals, right? Minerals that our plants, when we grow traditionally, need from the soil. Unfortunately, our soil is so depleted that we just don't get the same nutrients anymore, just because the quality is so poor.
Oh, for sure.
Over farming and that sort of thing. So that mineral tonic sort of circulates through and sort of showers down with the water onto the roots of the plants. And that mineral tonic is actually not only intended for growing healthy plants, but it's intended for growing healthy humans as well. It's really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so the Tower Garden was actually designed, NASA went to Disney, the Epcot Center at Disney, the big, growing, they went there to talk to them about how to get some ideas around how they can grow in space. They wanted it for the Mars project. So this is what they came up with. They came up with the Tower Garden. I wish I had a picture sitting here with me so that I could show you. But yeah, it's which is pretty cool. So it was intended to be for astronauts and that sort of thing to grow on Mars. But now families are using it in their homes day in and day out to grow organic food for themselves, for their families. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, if somebody wanted to learn more about the Juice Plus business and the products and the towers, what site they would go to? Do you have your own unique domain that they can go to?
I do. Yeah, I do. It's Christina Denomme. Is there a way to add it to whatever you're...
Yes. You know what? If you want to send it to me, then I'll upload it whenever I upload the video and put that all in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do have my own domain. You can check the research out there. There's a whole section on research. The products are all there to look at. In order to get, if you want, like in order to order and get the child's for free, you have to order through representative who sign off on, that program. Yeah. So it does have to go direct through, so they can contact me, and then I can take care of that for them. And then, as far as the Tower Gardens, that's just a separate website. It'll say Tower Garden. You can click on that and go look at the Tower Gardens. Okay. And then the business is under virtual franchise. Okay. The business is really cool. I absolutely, I love the business. I love the freedom to work from my home and do things like this, and I love that I can tie it into absolutely everything else that I do, because like you said, I do a lot of things.
You do, and that's great. Somebody said to me one time, "Oh my God, like you've got so many, fires in the oven, and it's craziness. You're juggling so much." I said, "I'm not juggling. I'm just, you know, living my life passionately, and I am expanding. And with that expansion comes it's not one dimensional. You're doing
That's
so
right.
many things, and one thing when you're leading with passion, and it's really truly your path, and your soul is lit up, it leads to other things, and it opens doors, and they're all, they talk about the 7 degrees of separation. Well, your dreams and passions can be the 7 different degrees of, and they could be completely different. So
Mm-hmm.
we just need to squash this. It's not normal. You're juggling
Exactly.
stuff, That's
I think is
who we need to be, because the world is a busy place and life is too short. And if you're not
yeah,
happy
yeah.
and you're not well, then it's not a great place. So,
No, I'm a firm believer in that. Like I'm 100, and some people are one dimensional, and that's okay.
yes.
Hey, if you're one dimensional, you're one dimensional. That's just how
Yeah.
I'm not.
No.
This business is fit for people who are one dimensional, and it's just the product. Then they can be that. And for me, I'm like, this is Christina, and the product fits into every single slot.
100%.
So and I love that about it. I love the fact that I've been able to grow a business from home that supports, has now I had a full-time income in education, and I've been able to grow a full-time income with this business in the last year and a bit, which is pretty amazing. So, and the sky's the limit, and there's just so much that I want to do with this business, so much that a lot of big goals, a lot of really big goals. So
That's good.
it's
And
very,
you know what? You're right that it fits and ticks a lot of your boxes, which is amazing. And you're adapting it. And I think that's why it speaks to me so much. I've seen it, here, there, and everywhere over the years, but it wasn't until I truly realigned into my passionate piece that I went, wow, that makes sense. Oh, goodness gracious. This is, so it's good stuff. If people are wanting to check out what Christina Denomme is doing, you have a website.
I do, yes, ChristinaDenome.com.
Okay.
And through ChristinaDenome.com, you can actually get to my Juice Plus website as well.
Perfect.
So it'll say Whole Food Supplements, and you can just click on that link, and it'll take you straight to my Juice Plus website.
Okay.
And then there's Growing Your Own Food. That'll take you straight to my Tower Garden website.
Okay, perfect. So what's going on over these next few months for you? I know that you're going to be at the cafe and you're going to be doing that. Will you be doing any more of the salad jar making classes over the summer? Will that kind of pick up in the fall again, do you think?
It will definitely pick up in the fall again. I'm not opposed to doing it over the summer months, because I do them with, a variety of different groups. If there's a group that wants to have that experience, have that workshop experience. Sometimes I have corporate teams that want to do something like that for their health and wellness section of for their employees. And then, I'll have church groups and things like that want to do it, or sports groups or whatever. So if there's an interest, there's actually a spot on my website to book me.
Okay.
So if that's something that anybody's interested in, they can go in, check out the workshop, and then just click book me, send me an email, and we can set that up.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? I am blessed to have had you cross my path this last couple months, because it's just been a couple months that we've known each other, but we've gotten to know each other very well, and we share a lot of mutual things. And I love that you blessed me and my tribe with your story a couple weeks ago. It was truly inspirational, and it touches my heart. And I thank you, because the goal for Awaken by Heather is that this content, these shares, and this aliveness is going to be around for many years to come.
Mm-hmm.
So the goal is to empower, and there's all kinds of Christinas out there, and there's all kinds of Heathers, and there's all kinds of Raquels and Nicoles and everyone else. There's even some Peters too. It's not just about women, it's about a whole community coming together to really truly just live their best life. And I Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your inspiration, and just yourself and your time with us today.
Thank you so much, Heather. It's been so awesome. And I feel the same, just so blessed to have, come to know you and continue to know you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's not stopping here. You can't lose me. I'm like an old tick. Anyway, listen, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I'm going to let you go. And if you want to send me an email of that website, I'll make sure that it goes down below to everybody on Awaken by Heather. Again, if you want to reach out to Christina, reach out to her on that website. And thank you all for leaning in.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Much love. Take care. Have a great
Bye.
Canada Day weekend.
Oh my goodness, you too. It's
All
going to be
right.
beautiful. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.